Avengers!
Hey there, hi there, hello there. Welcome to an all-new episode of Talking Smack, where we talk superheroes, movies, animation, comics, and much, much more. I am your host, Josh Starr, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Alex. And this is usually where I would ask Alex how he's doing, but I'm too excited because we have a very special guest on today. We have Dusty Evely from not only Watching Stuff, but from the Pack-A-Day podcast, Acme Packing Company. Dusty, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Happy to be with you. I'm very excited that Watching Stuff's the first thing. I know it's on brand here, but I do like that Watching Stuff's the first thing you listed. So I'm thrilled, man. I've learned a lot about different things that are coming out from you guys anyways. This is I'm thrilled to be here and talk with you guys. This is fun.
That's fantastic. I'm thrilled because I get to ask you how that preseason loss to the Steelers felt.
Listen, man. I'm watching players, brother. I'm watching players. Okay, wins or losses. Who cares about wins or losses in the preseason?
I think you mean a win because the unofficial Packer player of the Talking Smack podcast, Trey Smack, went 4 for 4, officially 3 for 3. So that's a big win for the Packers.
Threw a couple of 58-yarders. That's really like, can we get out without no injuries? And can Trey Smack look good? Guess what? Both those things. We got both those things. It's a win. It's an overwhelming victory in my book.
I'm just happy that I can say the Steelers have a win because I'm looking at the season and I'm looking at last year and I'm like, all right, 9-8, here we come again.
pretty good prediction based on what we've seen in the past. Yeah.
Look at the last 10 years, man.
Yeah, seriously.
So Dusty, before we get started on our D23 coverage, please let everyone know about your other projects that you have going on with Watching Stuff, Pack-A-Day, your YouTube channel, everything like that.
Yeah, Watching Stuff, we're getting ready to, I think, put it on hiatus a little bit because me and the other two co-hosts are all Packers people in the Packers sphere. And so football season coming up, time gets really, really short. And so we did, I think our Spider-Man episode came out, Brand New Day came out this past weekend. I think we're recording this week for Thunderbolts. So we're hitting Thunderbolts. That'll be coming out. And we've got the 2 Ghost Rider episodes we've recorded, but they've had a hard time getting posted. So at some point, those will come out as well. But I think we're doing Thunderbolts and then Ghost Rider, and then we'll probably go on break for a little bit. So we got those. Yeah, Pack-A-Day on Wednesdays, Writing Stuff, Acme Packing Company, YouTube channel I dust off from time to time, but it's football season. So, try to stay up on top of the Marvel stuff. I'm hyped for Doomsday as well. After the second trailer, I am more hyped than I was before the second trailer for Doomsday. I will say I still have some pretty big concerns about that, but I'm just about ready to shift into all football mode at this point. So I'll be kind of everywhere football related at some point or another.
I'm very glad we were able to squeeze you in before football season because, I fully understand that you're going to basically just be unavailable throughout the next 5.5, 6 months.
Oh, I'll be around. You can find me. I can always carve out a couple hours. It's fine. But yeah, this is better. This is better, I'll say.
I'm kicking myself because I had actually planned to do a different intro where I was going to say, and joining us this week to talk about the reasons why the Green Bay Packers lost Super Bowl 32 back in 1998 because Desmond Howard was no longer on the team, because Desmond Howard was the guy that got me on the Packers. And it broke my heart when I found out that he was not back on the team because I didn't know about free agency or anything like that. I was 12 in 1997 when the season started.
Yeah, 97 season, yeah.
Yeah, so when I heard that he went to the Raiders, I was just like, what? No, he won the MVP. He shouldn't be gone.
This should be illegal.
Like, that's my trauma going back 30 years.
Yeah, it's all right. I have very specific thoughts on that Super Bowl, but we'll table that for now. We'll table that.
Sure. Maybe we'll talk about more prescient things. Yeah, we're here to talk about this weekend's D23, which is Disney's big E3 Comic-Con knockoff that they do that is strictly for Disney. We're going to talk Star Wars. We're going to talk Disney animation, Disney live action, Pixar, and Marvel, which I know that sounds like a lot, but it's really not that much because we're just picking and choosing the good stuff. So we're going to start with some of the biggest news that came out, which all of it's pretty big news. We are starting with Star Wars, and I think maybe in Alex's most important thing, this coming January 2027, we are getting the original 1997 cut of Star Wars.
Wait, the original 1997?
1997.
Did I say 1977?
You said 1997.
I was looking right at this and I thought I said 1977.
You were thinking about the Super Bowl loss again. That's what was going on.
I was thinking about the special editions because like I love Star Wars, but I joined in during the special edition releases. So like maybe I was just thinking 1997 with that. 1997 was a big year for me, apparently. I just don't think about it too often. But Alex, let's start with you. 1977 cut of Star Wars. How you're feeling?
Give me the Blu-ray. That's all I want. Listen, did they say that the opening crawl was just going to say Star Wars, not Episode 4?
They said original cut, so I'm assuming that it is going to be as was released in 1977.
I've never seen that cut. I still want to see it. No, wait. No, I have never seen that cut. I have seen the VHS trilogy, the pre-special edition trilogies, but that still said Episode 4, and he still had done a little bit of tinkering, a little bit of nudging. So I want to see the original. I want to see the original where you can see the lightsaber cord going down Obi-Wan's sleeve into the jacket. I want that original uncleaned up cut because they originally thought, hey, lightsabers can just be wands with spinning glow rods in them, and so that's why they had to be powered before Episode 5. Or like now we'll just put sticks and color them later. I want to see the awkwardness. The only thing better would be if they had found a version that was the original pre-release cut, which had like whiny Luke complaining that he doesn't go to hang out with Wedge more, and there's a scene with like Wedge, and Wedge has a girlfriend or something weird like that.
Yeah, there's a group of them hanging out, and Wedge is talking about how he's getting ready to head out, and Luke's just like, I want to go.
But if we can just have it, and this would be one time I'd be okay with it. I'm okay with it, Disney. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with vaulting something, deleting something. Let us see this cut. Give us 3 months later, give us the Blu-ray 4K, whatever, super resolution. And then sometime in mid-May, just very quietly on Disney Plus, delete the version that's on there right now and just put this version. You don't have to do it for 5 and 6. You don't have to say like, hey, an alternate version. Just quietly delete and just have that one be there. I'd be okay.
And then give us the Wedge cut,
Yes.
Was it the 2004 original DVD release that they added in the Darth Vader No, or was that the Blu-ray release that they added in the Darth Vader No to Return of the Jedi?
That's the Blu-ray release because they made it match the end of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, because I'll watch the Blu-rays as is until I get to Return of the Jedi. Then I'll bust out my special edition DVD set and watch Return of the Jedi on that, even though the resolution is absolute ass, because I don't care about the changes too much. They don't bother me as much as they bother other people. But Vader turning back and forth going, no. George, there is such a thing as subtext, and you don't need to know what Vader is thinking in that moment because his actions following that back and forth answer what the heck's going on through his head. I don't know. Even children can figure that out. And I know you say Star Wars is for kids.
It's almost like there's a musical score that's happening right there that punctuates the moment that tells you how to feel. Just a little bit. Beautiful score by John Williams.
It's like poetry. It rhymes. Dusty, how do you feel about the original 1977 cut getting a re-release 50 years later?
So excited. Have you guys, I'm guessing the answer is no. You guys ever watched the despecialized editions? You ever seen those?
I have seen I've seen the original cuts outside of like the original Star Wars, because I had the VHS trilogy pack before the special editions came out. So it still has like the episode 4 crawl, but everything else, as far as I'm aware, is mostly the same as the original cut.
Well, so someone went through, I can't remember what year this was. Someone went through, Swedish guy, I think it was his name, Harmy, I think, went through and basically scoured the internet, scoured stores, whatever he could get to find like original prints of the original Star Wars to try to release an original 1977 edition that's in, I don't remember if it's DVD or Blu-ray quality. And through like, he found old film stuff. He found like laser discs. He found a whole bunch of stuff and basically pieced together the original trilogy without the New Hope crawl, it just says Star Wars when it opens up. Those are incredible. Those are the ones that I watch. Now, I will say, I mean, I think those are DVD quality. So when I watch those, which is a decent amount, I only watch the specialized because I grew up with, my mom had like the original like VHS trilogy. So we used to watch those. I don't want to see Jabba the Hutt walking and McClunky, like, brother. No, I can't live this life. Like, there's an anger that rises within me. And so I'll just watch these specialized ones. Those are great. But getting an actual, I legitimately didn't know this was ever going to see the light of day. I might be wrong. I thought at some point Lucas said he destroyed all those because he thought like this was his clear vision now was like the re-releases. The fact that they're actually doing this shouldn't be shocking, but kind of is. But I'm excited because it's all been bootleg stuff until now. Bootleg or old VHS stuff is the only way you could watch this.
I think it's shocking only because Lucas is still alive. And
yes, yep.
there have been rumors on the internet forever that the sale, one of the rules of the sale was that the original trilogy never sees the light of day as long as he's alive. And so either Disney really threw some extra money into the deal to be like, hey, we need to celebrate 50 years the right way and get some extra money out of this, or Disney's just like, screw you, George, you've gotten $2 billion from us plus whatever residuals and stock shares. We're going to release this copy that we have.
Or, I mean, maybe they pushed him. You're coming up on the anniversary. He's getting older. Maybe he's getting a little sentimental. Like, hey, listen, it'd be nice for people to be able to see this. So that's like you, Alex. Just give me the Blu-ray, man. Like, I want to watch it. I want to be able to stream it. Being in the theater is awesome. Give me the Blu-ray of this. Like, just please release an official Blu-ray of this. And do the other ones. Give me the whole trilogy. Like, don't stop here. Just, if you want to do it on the anniversary of each one, cool. Give me the full trilogy as it was originally released. That's all I want, man.
I believe this version is because it was a small theater in England somewhere found a 35 millimeter print that had been stashed like in a closet. And so someone paid to restore it, and they aired it either last year or early this year. They did a screening where they aired it with that 35 millimeter restored print, and they had to get Disney's blessing. Disney was like, fine, you can like do it for like one weekend.
Yeah.
In other Star Wars news, we had season 2 of Ahsoka get a trailer and a release date. That is January 20th of 2027, which is a little sooner than I was expecting. I was thinking it might get like a March or April release. Alex, I know Ahsoka is not your favorite show. It's definitely not mine. But I do have a soft spot for Star Wars Rebels, and the continuation of the Rebel story in the Ahsoka storyline, and Balin's skull is just such a cool character. I'm not really a huge fan of his not Mia Goth Padawan that he has. I forget her name, but it's an interesting enough story, and I just need more good Star Wars in my life, and I'm just hoping that this kind of builds upon something, because really got to wash the sequel trilogy out of my mouth still 7 years later after all of that. So I'm excited for Ahsoka season 2. Dusty, how about you?
Yeah, I'm honestly, so I'd never watched Rebels, which is a large mark against myself, I think. So for most of Ahsoka, I was somewhat lost when they're like, we got to find Ezra. And I was like, I don't know who this is, man. But I really like Rosario Dawson. I can't remember the actress who played Sabine. I thought was really cool. I liked her. I'm so sad because I love Ray Stevenson. And he died. Yeah. And so he's not going to be Balin in this next one. I didn't see who's replacing him, but the action of that was cool. Seems a little more Thrawn centric, which I'm excited about. I think it was I get some of the Star Wars stuff confused because a lot of it does look the same. Ahsoka was the stuff with the witches, right? Like towards the end of the first season, they had like the Coven of Witches. That was, or is that
there
Obi-Wan?
Was a witch. The Coven of Witches was what the heck was it? Acolyte.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That was Acolyte. Okay.
Wait, did they have?
I thought
there was a witch. She was part of
the witch battle. Somebody new who suddenly had lightsaber powers too.
Sounds right.
Sabine had developed her force powers, which is something I'm not a huge fan of, but I understand why they did it. They're like, we need a Mandalorian who's a Jedi. If I remember correctly, the witch is like standing there like she's going to do a big final fight, and she just lets Sabine go past her, and then the witch and Ahsoka have a big battle.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what it was.
So I'll say, like, I like that first season pretty well. The second season, I saw the trailer looks cool. I don't know. I know you can't if you're doing the Rebel stuff. I want Star Wars to veer away from some of the Skywalker stuff. So Anakin being so omnipresent, and then you've got but I'm excited to see Zeb. That Zeb's going to be in this as well. So
Yeah, Zeb.
I am currently of the mind this will probably be fun. It's not going to blow me away, but I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it as excited as I get for a Star Wars show these days. They've all a lot of them have the same kind of tenor. I think Acolyte I dug because it was so different. Ahsoka, I couldn't tell the difference between Ahsoka and Obi-Wan at a certain point. So I'm happy, but not overly, didn't really blow me away that it's coming back. I don't think.
No, just it's a no from me. I saw Anakin Skywalker. I'm like, no, you've been dead 20,
gotta let
20
this go.
years, man.
Gotta let it go, man.
Let it go. And then and I'm seeing bigger battles than wherever I ever saw in Mandalorian. I'm like, okay, there's big giant space battles. Sure, whatever. And then they're desperately talking intently about there's a power that can stop all wars. I'm like, really? I'm assuming you fail because in 20 years, the entire Republic gets touched by fingers and we never mention it again. So there's no weight here. I don't believe in any of this. And frankly, I'm sorry, if you find something that can stop all wars, man, I hope Luke calms down and doesn't try to randomly stab his nephew in the chest. Shit. It's let it go, man. Just let it go. I will only accept more Jedi BS post 6 before 7 if you give me Mara Jade. And if you give me Mara Jade, that means that they're wiping out 7, 8, 9 because Luke will be happy with his lost in time space girlfriend, and we might get a proper Ben that is his son, not Leia's for some weird ass reason.
Hey, they've fixed that because she had an adventure with Ben when she was 10 years old.
10? She looked like she was 6, and I still don't understand how she got away from Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. That was weird.
If you could have heard how hard my eyes rolled when Leia Skywalker showed up on Obi-Wan, just let this man have his own adventures. We don't need this.
I mean, did you see the crap? I heard it. It sounded like a craps table. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't anymore. I can't. I want good Star Wars. Which I understand there's a fan out there who would tell me it's good, but I just want good Star Wars that is not trapped in the not really moving forward.
Yeah. The lack of stakes is a huge issue because
yep.
We've seen what happens in the future. So we know whatever happens now has no real impact. It's just a story that they're telling. And for the record, Sabine Wren is played by Natasha Liu Bordizzo. Shin Hati is Baylan Skoll's apprentice, played by Ivana Sakno. And then I forget the actor's name, but Ray Stevenson is being replaced by the guy who played the Hound in Game of Thrones.
Oh, I did not know that. I'm in for that.
I don't disagree in the lack of stakes. I do think that you can still tell an interesting story, but it has to be more character driven. And I don't think the average Star Wars fan cares enough about Ahsoka Tano to really invest in or I should say people who are not as invested in Star Wars. I think if you're someone who says you're an average Star Wars fan, you've probably taken in at least most, if not all of the live action stuff, maybe not the animated stuff. So you still haven't seen all of the Clone Wars. You haven't seen Star Wars Rebels. I don't think anyone should watch Star Wars Resistance. That show is absolute trash. If you want to see bad Star Wars outside of Rise of Skywalker, Star Wars Resistance is what you need to watch. It's just bad. The best part about that is Donald Faison plays a what the heck is the Greedo species called?
I just called them Greedos.
Yeah, they're Greedos. I'm sure it'll come to me.
Hey, it's Baby Yoda and it's Greedos. Okay.
Donald Faison voices a Greedo, and his name is Faison. And I'm just like, I have no notes. It is a great Star Wars name.
Can you imagine how much more money Mandalorian and Grogu would have earned if they actually had named it The Mandalorian and Baby Yoda?
Rhodians. The Greedos are Rhodians. Just
yeah, that's right. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
So speaking of no stakes, Star Wars Starfighter, as directed by Deadpool and Wolverine director, I'm what the hell's his name now?
Levi.
I'm dropping
Sean Levy.
Sean Levy.
Thank you, Levy.
Yes, Sean Levy, starring Ryan Gosling, has the fastest starfighter in the galaxy, but it's not in service for whatever reason. I have no idea when this movie is set, and I have no idea what the heck they're trying to do. I shared with you guys some leaked footage of some of the stuff that they showed at D23. If anyone listening wants to see it, you can definitely Google it and find it. From the moment they announced this film, I have no interest in it, and they are giving it a prime release date. I believe it's another May release. I forget the exact release date.
May 28th, 2027.
Yeah, so it's getting the typical Star Wars release window of late May. Maybe it's Top Gun Maverick, where it's a movie no one knew they wanted, and it's just great. And I won't see it, just like Maverick. But this one, I don't understand what they're trying to accomplish with this. And that's any Star Wars at this point, is what are they trying to accomplish besides milking the Star Wars brand?
I'm a fan of anything that goes outside of, that exists in a world while not existing in the limited version of a world that we've seen. So like, I don't know how many other people love these. I love like Prometheus and Alien Covenant, because those exist in the alien world, but they're very dumb and not super well thought out, but they exist, like it's in that world, but it's no characters. It's not related to any story we have seen previously. We just talk about all the Star Wars think that is Skywalker stuff. I don't know if this is going to be, I think this is based on the comic, if I'm not mistaken, one that I have not read yet. I think I've got some of those. I don't know if that's the same one or not. If this is set in the Star Wars universe, that's why I kind of connected with Acolyte for that reason. If it's set in the Star Wars universe and it's just a story that's set in the Star Wars universe about a pilot that has no ties to anything we've seen before, I don't know if I'm like super in for it, but like I can buy in at that. But if it's like, oh, this is secretly Anakin's brother or something, I'm out. Like, you miss me with it. But I'd be down with just like a simple action adventure story set in the Star Wars universe that does not tie back in anything else. So if that's what this is, I'm going to watch it regardless. But I think I'd be more bought in if that's what this ends up being.
Okay, so supposedly this is set 6 years after the Rise of Skywalker.
Okay,
so that slightly makes me happy, because like, okay, cool. Let's push forward. Let's push forward, guys. I do have a problem that it's already breaking canon, because according to Star Wars Rogue Squadron N64, the unlock that you can get, like the Millennium Falcon and others, the fastest is the Naboo Starfighter. So there's already breaking canon.
Well, technology is always moving forward, Alex. You can finally move forward 60 years after the Naboo Starfighter.
Nope, because it was still faster than the Falcon. And
like this one was kept secret. They didn't know about it, because they said it wasn't working. It's in the garage. It's the only one of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah. 14 movies in, we suddenly find out about a secret faster ship than the Naboo Starfighter.
It's like Reacher, where they just like, how do we get him into a good fight? And it's like, well, here's a guy that's bigger than him. Just eventually, it's like every new movie is like, well, no, this ship's faster. It's the Nimbus 2001. Like that's the path we're on.
Oh man, I do love that about Reachers. Every season, somebody's slightly bigger than him. He's a big guy.
This guy's 7'2" now. Let's see if he can beat this guy.
Eventually, he'll just be fighting the Hulk.
Yeah,
let's go.
That would be great.
I'd be all in for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love that show. That show's ridiculous. Like, I think it's the second or third season. Some guy's like riding away on a motorcycle, and he like just grabs the guy off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy's just riding away from him. The guy's riding at him, and he's like, whoosh.
It's one of the best shows ever made.
It's so good. It's ridiculous. My enthusiasm level for Starfighter greatly depends on if Jedi show up. If Jedi show up, I have my enthusiasm just plummets.
I have a feeling Rey's going to have a cameo maybe towards the end.
God, I hope not. I don't want that. It could be good if it's standalone, self-contained, and doesn't do something like, oh, by the way, another random Jedi has survived the Purge and is here. There's a secret school. Luke set up it's going to be like Jurassic Park. Luke has set up actually a secret school. It's on another site.
It's a completely different island. Yeah,
exactly. He did not
Grogu started his own Jedi school. Grogu got older after Din Djarin passed away. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to start my own Jedi school with blackjack and hookers.
It's going to be great.
All right, listen. You guys said you weren't excited, but that movie sounds cool. I'm in for that one.
And for some reason, it's going to be on Dagobah.
Let's go. Let's go.
We should make a movie script, Alex. Dusty's in.
Yeah, seriously. I've got money I will give you just for that. Let's do it.
It'd be great.
I'm more concerned with Starfighter more about just what is the conflict? What are we doing, especially if this is set after episode 9? What are we fighting against this time that is going to make me want to get into the theater to see this, besides a bunch of pixels on a screen moving really quickly through space, CGI space? I need something more than we're doing Top Gun Maverick, but in space with Ryan Gosling. Like that's where I'm at with this at this point, because we've talked about this ad nauseum on our show. Dusty, you've probably heard this argument before, but like Star Wars used to be an event.
Yeah.
Now we've been dealing with constant stream of Star Wars since 2015. And every year we hear something new in Star Wars is coming out. Whereas before it was a 20-year gap from the end of the original trilogy to the special editions to the prequels, where 1999, the prequel trilogy starts. And then it was probably like 6 or 7 years later, we get the Clone Wars and then the TV series. But still, it was huge news that we were getting TV Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then there was nothing until Disney bought Star Wars a handful of years after that. Star Wars news was always something huge. And now it's just run of the mill, like, oh, they announced another Star Wars thing. Like, okay. So it's something that really needs to get driven home, that less is more in certain situations. And with Star Wars, I think that is a huge impact.
Well, I think you saw even, I mean, with Andor, you've seen, not that I want them to do Andor with Starfighter, with Gosling, that's not going to work. But Andor, you can see, like, dude, you can go, again, you can exist in the world and do things within the Star Wars world and tell different stories, put this in different settings. It doesn't, like, the one thing I think that gave me pause about Starfighter, we didn't see a whole lot of footage, was like, here he is, he's racing his little ship. And like, it just looks like Star Wars setting. Like, I want this. There's millions of planets, there's all kinds of solar systems. Can we please set something somewhere else? It's like a grounded story. That's all I want, like a grounded story on a world we haven't seen, that's somewhat unfamiliar. You can do that stuff. I want it. If they're going to do this, branch it out. Like, it'll just feel so samey at a certain point. It's not an event because everything feels exactly the same. Or they're going to be in the jungle, or they're going to be in the desert. Like, that doesn't move the needle for me. Do something different with this at a certain point.
That is something that Skeleton Crew, for better or for worse, did really well, is they told a treasure planet, treasure island story set in the Star Wars universe, and it felt unique unto itself. It opens up looking like Stranger Things in Star Wars, and then it transitions into a space pirate story. It is really interesting, which some people don't want interesting in Star Wars, especially Disney executives, apparently. But yeah, I'll reserve full judgment until we see more from this. I don't know if I'm going to go to the theater to see it, just because so far I'm Ryan Gosling, Sean Levy. They announced Amy Adams and a handful of other people are involved in this as well. And that's the other part of this, is Star Wars doesn't need big actors to get me in to see Star Wars.
No.
I am invested in that universe no matter what. I don't care that Ryan Gosling's getting paid $25 million to be here. I don't care that Amy Adams is getting paid $15 million to be there. They're not the reason I'm going to see those movies. The brand is what I'm going to see, and whatever story they're telling in there. So that's the other lost side. Like, it's when Marvel really branched out into Eternals and just had this massive cast of face actors instead of casting relative unknowns or smaller actors and putting them into like their big limelight moment. I don't care that Angelina Jolie is in the MCU. It's not a rite of passage for an actor to be in the MCU. It's more of a stepping stone to building into something. So tell me a good story. Don't just shove faces into my worlds that I actually care about.
That's fair. But I also like the Eternals. So I get it. But also, I'll fight over that.
We'll have to decide. We'll have to dissect that later.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, guys, I just script update. So Rada the Hutt is funding Grogu's school and have a lot of Twi'leks. You can't have hookers and blow without Twi'leks.
All right, listen, I'll give you more money. I'm doubling my original investment.
Fantastic. I'm down.
Something I'm not down with. The live action Tangled got a release date and a teaser image, or teaser reveal. It is coming out March 31st, 2028. And seeing live action Flynn Rider is really disturbing to me because it really drives home how much older he is than Rapunzel. In the animated film, he's 27. She is literally turning 18 the day after they meet for the first time. And in an animated film, you can kind of just brush it away. It's fine. In live action, it's super gross. I don't know if it's just the way they did the guy's facial hair or what, but not only do I not want the live action movie anyway, I don't need to be reminded of how gross that relationship is. Alex, how do you feel about Tangled live action?
I didn't realize that they had actually released, that they had cast people. And now that I'm watching the trailer, no.
The hair looks super flat too.
What? Are we sure this isn't cosplay?
Well, the other thing is also they make a really big point that they're in Spain filming on real locations, which feels like a super overcorrection to the critiques that came from the live action Moana that came out in early July. They're showing off all these locations and they're making sure the actors are talking about it. And we're in such beautiful locations that we're going to touch up digitally after the fact. And some of it's going to be very obvious sound stages. And I'm just sitting here like, you're making Temu Tangled when we have good Tangled at home. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish with any of these. And I still don't, other than Lilo and Stitch made $1 billion somehow.
This feels very original Snow White trailer reveal where they're going to go back and refilm everything. Because his outfit looks weird. I do not like that facial stuff. That wig looks weird. Is Catherine Hahn in this?
Catherine Hahn is playing Mother Gothel, yes.
Which, she's going to kill that. That's the only thing I'm excited about. Just give me her.
She's going to own that role, yes.
I'm sure they're going to joke that she wears purple at some point. But yeah, I got that all along. Pass. Next question.
I've not looked at the box office. Aside from Lilo and Stitch, have any of these made, like the live action stuff, have these done well?
They had a really good stretch.
Okay.
They had a really good stretch from, I think, 2017 into 2019, where Beauty and the Beast made, I think, like 700 or 800 million. And then they had Aladdin and The Lion King in 2019, both break $1 billion.
Don't forget Jungle Book.
Jungle Book was well received at first, yeah. But yeah, other than that, it's been really mixed bag of, I guess Maleficent did well enough to warrant a sequel. Alice in Wonderland did well enough to warrant a sequel. But that was, I think most of Maleficent and Alice in Wonderland was merchandising more than it was box office.
Maleficent,
and maybe home video releases.
Yeah, I go to bat pretty hard for Maleficent, but that's a different spin on a story we've already seen. Maybe this is just age and just being tired coming through. I don't understand the appeal of the live action remakes of these things at all. Like, I get it to a certain point, because if from the older story, you're trying to update it and you want to do something different, you're not going to like CGI it. You're not doing new animated, but some of the new, like Tangled, we don't need, I don't know that I need a live action Tangled. We have a perfectly good animated Tangled that was not like, I mean, I say not that long ago, it's probably 20 years ago at this point. It still looks great. I don't know why we need this. I don't know why we need the live action Moana. I feel like old man yelling at cloud at this at a certain point. I don't understand the appeal of these at all. It feels like a money laundering scheme. All of the live action ones, like, listen, man, so there's some like weird accounting stuff going on here, because there's no way there's this big of a call for this. Moana was not that long ago.
Moana wasn't even, it's insane. Technically not even a full 10 years yet. It released in November of 2016.
No, I'm good. I think I saw the scene when the orangutan dances in the Jungle Book. And that was fun, because I think Christopher Walken, that was cool. That's the only live action. I've no desire to see any of these live actions.
That's right. I forgot Christopher Walken was King Louis.
Yeah, he was sweet. Like that whole scene was good. He sounded awesome. Yep. I don't, that's the high for me, man. I don't need anything else. I've already hit the peak. I can't watch anything else.
There was a stretch where they were talking about the Jungle Book too, but then that never materialized, and they moved Favreau over to Lion King.
Well, and I mean, to your point too, like you get Tangled, but not only the other ones too. You get there's so many just weird, like here's a 35-year-old prince and a 16-year-old girl. We don't need to update those. Let's leave those be. Those are made in 1935. We don't need to touch those. Let's just leave those suckers lie, or at least update the ages a little bit. We don't need to carry over all of this. There's no reason for this.
I'm sure they're going to update it where it's her 21st birthday instead of her 18th birthday. Like there's going to be some kind of update to make the age gap not as gross, but it's still, the guy just still looks like he's in his mid 30s. He doesn't look
no.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he just got out of college or just got out of like a master's program. He looks like he just got done getting rejected for his third mortgage application.
Which is kind of mean because I just looked it up. She's 22 and he's 25. The actual actors.
They need to do some of those costumes then, man, because that man does not look good. That man does not look 25.
It has to be the facial hair.
Yeah. So he was in. I just looked up to see what else he'd been in. He was in the Thanksgiving movie that Eli Roth did a couple years ago. And
that was
all those kids were high schoolers, and he played a high schooler perfectly well. So it's got to be. It's just the costuming stuff.
It's got to be.
So something coming out in 2027 I am looking forward to, especially my kids. We had some Frozen 3 reveals and details given. Dusty, how do you feel about the Frozen franchise? And this is also Frozen 3 and 4 are being created back to back. I don't know that they'll release in 27 and 28. But it is something that they're like, oh, it's such an epic tale. We have to tell it in 2 parts.
That gives me a little pause. I did not know that. I mean, I loved first one. I enjoyed Frozen 2 rules, dude. Frozen 2 is so good. We watched that. My kids do not really like movies too much. I say that we watched Minions and Monsters earlier today. We watched Frozen 2 probably 5 times about 2 weeks span. We've not watched it since. It's so good. I love the songs. The animation's insane. The leaked footage of of Frozen 3, like it looks like, so originally Frozen was supposed to be, it's based on what the Ice Queen or whatever from Hans Christian Andersen, and Elsa was supposed to be the villain, and they had like the very specific look for her and all that, and then they said when they wrote Let It Go, they changed it, because it was like she's trapped, and there's this world, and it did her wrong and all that stuff. What little we saw from the design in 3 looks like the original design for Elsa. So I'm all in for that. Like evil Ice Queen stuff, which is kind of like, it was like a Frozen butterfly type of situation. It looks like, I'm guessing this is the setup they were going to have for the first one, but now we're now in 3. If it's anything like 2, I'm all the way in, man. The only, my mean moment, I don't like Josh Gad. I like Olaf.
You preaching to the choir here.
I do not. Oh, good. Among friends. So seeing Josh Gad get out there, I was like, this man doesn't need 5 minutes of a song. Get this man off screen. Get him off my screen, man. But no, I'm in, man. I'm pretty hyped for Frozen 3. It's been one of those I feel like I've been waiting for a long time, and there's been so little news. I just at this point kind of assumed it was never going to happen. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be, the little footage we got looks pretty sweet. So I'm all in for this.
Josh Gad's been riding that Book of Mormon train for 20 years at this point.
Or I saw him in a Party Down episode, and I was like, this guy's bad. Why is this guy an actor? And then I just, he's making me mad since then.
He rode that train to Mel Brooks, and I am so mad.
Yeah.
Because if Spaceballs, the next one, is any good, that guarantees another 20 years.
We're in it now. We've got Josh Gad for the rest of our natural lives. I'll tell you that right now. Like,
hey, listen, we got rid of James Corden. We can work on that.
I will give Josh Gad some flowers because he is in the Chadwick Boseman biopic of Thurgood Marshall called Marshall, and he plays an attorney that Marshall is working with because the court system that they're working with won't deal with black men. So he's kind of using Josh Gad's character as an in-between. And Josh Gad is very good in that film. He's not great, but he is serviceable. And as would be expected, Chadwick Boseman is carrying that film. But for the most part, yeah, I'm very much over the Josh Gad bit that he's been just riding since the Book of Mormon, since Frozen 1. It's great that he's able to make a bunch of kids happy with the Olaf stuff, but as a grown-ass man who's been watching Frozen for 15 years, I'm over it. And Olaf in Frozen 2 is just so rude and awful. Like every line of dialogue he has, I just want to smack him and be like, you don't have to be that rude.
Oh, he showed up in Wonder Man for like an episode, that's about the perfect amount of Josh Gad. And even then, by the end of it, I was like, all right, we're done. This is played out. Let's just focus on something else.
I do like that they keep going back to little things from the first movie to incorporate it into the sequels. Cause like the North Uldra people in the sequel, their like tribal chant of welcoming people into the tribe is that opening tribal chant that you hear when the snowflakes are falling, the na 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 hey na. Like that's how they welcome Anna and Elsa into the North Uldra. And now it seems like the song that Kristen Bell and Idina Menzel were singing is some kind of reprise of the Ice Miners song at the very opening of Frozen after the opening sequence. So I kind of like that they're going back to that and kind of re-theming some of those and recontextualizing the first movies. So I'm interested. I'm very interested. I know my kids are very excited.
I have no strong opinions on this one. I like the first one. The second one, too much Olaf got a bit much for me, especially when they had Olaf recap the first movie in the manner in which Ant-Man's friend did. So I just don't have a strong opinion on it. I want the songs to do well. You know, I really want the songs to be catchy. I hope it's a strong resolution. That's really all I can hope. I mean, I'll most likely be seeing this in theaters.
Sterling K. Brown's character is what made that recap scene work, where he's sitting there reacting to all of Olaf's comments. Because without the cutaways to, yeah, exactly. What? All of that is just carried by Sterling K. Brown, and they made a bunch of Olaf shorts where he's recapping like The Lion King and The Little Mermaid and all that stuff. That's straight to Disney Plus. And without those cutaways and reactions, it's not as good. And so I fully credit Sterling K. Brown and the writers for having the wherewithal to be like, we need someone to react and be invested in this Olaf story.
I will say, as we talk about this, the one thing that does give you pause, and I mentioned Josh Gad on stage for 5 minutes doing a big song, which I was skipping through. I was like, when is this going to be over? When's it going to be over? The focus so much on him, because they mentioned too, like Anna's getting married. That's in the little the footage they showed. It's like right after the wedding, but they're also like Olaf finds love. Listen, I am in my 40s. I am a grown man. This movie is not made for me. Like, I fully understand that. But if you're a kid and you'd watch Frozen, you're old enough at this point. You've kind of grown with it because it's been so long between them. I don't want a big focus on Olaf in this, which it seems like that'd be my fear. Maybe that's the way it's going. We had more of a focus in 2, maybe they end up more in 3, and I think that would take me out of it somewhat if it's just like, we're going to see what wacky things Olaf can get into. He's a bit character. I don't need him to have storylines, you know? So that
he's the comedic relief. Yeah, he doesn't need to have a subplot. My biggest concern with this film is that the evil ice queen that we see is either going to be like the Bat Lady in Moana 2, where she's not really a bad guy, even though they're going to be promoting the film like she is the big bad guy.
Yeah.
To go along with that is, if she is not actually the big bad guy, she is going to create the quote unquote Samantha that Josh Gad is singing about, that Olaf is singing about in that song. And that way it's not like Elsa created a sister that he gets to marry. It's someone else made it and they get to get together. Yeah. But it's so unnecessary to be like, oh, well, Olaf needs someone to love, even though we've made it a point throughout 4 different Frozen things that we have made, 2 short films and 2 feature films, that his family, his love is Anna and Elsa. That's good enough for me.
He doesn't deserve
a snowman.
Love.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve love.
That's where I'm at with Olaf. He doesn't deserve good things.
Him and Sven, they can. No, Sven's a good boy. He deserves good things.
Yeah.
If it can end dramatically with like some kind of wedding in which Olaf melts and does not come back, like he's given the dip treatment from
Roger Rabbit.
I would be so happy with this film.
It ends with a wedding and they just dip him. Christopher Lloyd comes out and dips.
Hey, Christopher Lloyd is still acting. I'm all for it.
That's the only way I'll accept that the Ice Queen is not actually a bad guy, is if Christopher Lloyd is actually the bigger bad and he's going to kill Olaf.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm in for that.
So really quickly for other Disney animation or Pixar things, we've got Coco 2 confirmed for 2029. We have Incredibles 3 confirmed for June 18th, 2028. We've got some concept art. I'm always in for an Incredibles. Incredibles 2 was a little bit of a disappointment for me. Wasn't exactly the narrative I was hoping for, but it's still just a lot of fun to be around those characters, even if they had to obviously replace children actors, and Craig T. Nelson sounds like he aged about 40 extra years. Mr. Incredible just sounds so tired and run down in that film. But the original Incredibles is just such a great film, and I really hope that Incredibles 3 kind of brings it back to like a Last Crusade kind of comeback for this franchise, where you have a really amazing first one, a not so great second one, and then maybe a really great third one, and just close it out, because I'm sure Craig T. Nelson doesn't have much more time with us. Alex, how do you feel about Incredibles 3 or Coco 2?
Incredibles 3.
I just have to say, much of this episode has been me cutting to Alex and him just going hand into forehead.
I was so tired.
Contemplating, how do I not make Josh upset while he's wearing his All Disney All Day shirt?
I do appreciate, because in the audio, I think it comes through too, because it's a deep sigh before he responds. So the listeners also can hear it, I think.
Incredibles 3 could be good. I'm fine with that. Honestly, they're the two best Fantastic Four films we've ever had. So let's go 3 for 3 with this trilogy. Coco 2, I hate the haircut, but Coco 2 broke me because my mom is Hispanic from Mexico. And I was watching, I've mentioned this before, I'm watching this film and I'm angry because I'm like, these white bastards from outside of San Francisco are just going to sit here and tell me, they're just going to give me the Mexico yellow sepia tone, look for the country. And so I sat there, I was just mad. I was just watching this film because I was mad, because I was getting undercut. I was losing my arguments. And I just started bawling because when they went to the end with Abuela and the age and all this stuff, and I remember growing up and our family and the funerals and this culture, and I broke and I was just crying, bawling. I had a tension headache from trying to be mad at these bastards. And then I kid you not, the movie ended. We stay all the way through the credits because we like looking at the Pixar babies at the end, because I always put the production babies at the end. It's adorable. And then there was finally like a little thing at the end, and I'm bawling. My wife and our best friend is there with me. We're all bawling, just completely shattered. And I opened my phone, and there was a text from my mom saying, "Have you seen Coco? It got so much of my home right." And then I was bawling again. So I'm going to go into this movie with hope that these white people got it right again.
I'm undecided on Coco too. Like, Incredibles, honestly, man, you guys might kick me off of this. I didn't love Incredibles. I didn't love the first one. Thought it was fine. Second one did nothing for me. So I'm I don't know if I'm out on the franchise. It doesn't do anything for me. So Incredibles, whatever. Could be good, could be bad. I don't really care. Coco 2, it's one of those where I kind of want to trust in. I think they do a good job with, if they have a sequel idea, they won't make a movie unless they have a good idea for that sequel. Like, it's not always just straight cash grab, right? That is like, we've got a good story, good follow up. I didn't come out of Coco thinking, boy, I sure would like another one of these. As far as like I want to see where the story continues. That felt done. That felt like a beautiful little story to me. I'm gonna put faith in them that if they're doing this, it's because they have a good idea for a sequel. And it's likely going to be amazing. They're going to knock it out of the park, and I'm going to love it. But there is a small part of me that just thinks Coco was so good. I don't know. It's not one of those. It's not like ruining childhood moment, but there's some sequels where you're like, that undercuts some of the stuff that happened at the end of the previous movie.
Wreck-It Ralph 2. I hate Wreck-It Ralph 2.
You don't get your happily ever after. You don't get your imagination of like what happens next, because they're telling you what's next. And so that worries me somewhat with this, but at the same time, I mean, just the one bit of artwork they showed, I was like, oh, okay, I'm in. Yeah, I'll watch that. But there's a little bit of me that's worried about that, I think.
I'm kind of like you. I'm channeling my inner Brian Gutekunst, where I'm trusting the process.
Yeah.
Packers joke for those of you that don't understand what I just said. Coco 2, it's like I said, trusting the process and hoping for the best. Incredibles 3, I'm just hoping that it's better than the second one. That's all I can really do. But kind of like what you were saying, Coco is a very self-contained story, and at the end, Me Proud Corazon, that song breaks me every time. Like I will like start getting teary-eyed if I hear it just in my Disney mix that I'll throw on for my kids every now and again on my phone. It's just one of those songs that it resonates and it brings back that emotion from the first time I watched the film. So it's a film that, like you said, Dusty, I'm really hopeful that it was incubating and gestating in a way that it has progressed naturally through the script process and not just a cash grab. Because I mean, Alex and I were really ambivalent towards Inside Out 2, and for the most part, I think we both really enjoyed it. Like, it wasn't great. I don't know if it was like $1.6 billion great, but clearly other people thought it was. So hopefully Coco can be that, even if it's something where we walk away where it's like, yeah, it was good. As long as it's not just soulless and it doesn't make sense as a sequel. Like I said, Wreck-It Ralph 2 is one of those films for me that just completely undermines the first one, because the first film, it's all about Ralph learning to accept who he is and his role in his game and in their society. Whereas Wreck-It Ralph 2 is Vanellope's bored and wants to leave her game. And because Ralph is a possessive friend, she needs to leave for the sake of their friendship. And so she gets to leave her game to go into a different game. And it like, no, that's completely undercutting the message of the first film.
No.
So I'm hopeful. I don't think Pixar would do something like that. Pixar has a different standard, but obviously they're all under the Disney umbrella. So we'll see what happens. Really quickly, Zootopia 3 confirmed. They did a teaser with Birds of Prey. It's the most eventful 5 weeks in cinema history, I think, where Judy Hopps uncovers a conspiracy with Nick Wilde in her first 2 days on the force. And then a couple weeks later, after Nick passes through his cop course, they uncover another conspiracy. And over the course of a week, they solve that one. And now birds are showing up within the next week. So, like, it's been a very eventful 3 months for Judy Hopps on the force.
I'm thinking whatever on this. I like the first two. They're fine. I don't find myself wanting another Zootopia, but I'm fine with another one. I think that seems, I'm kind of very like shrug shoulders. Cool. They're good. They're going to make another one. It'll probably be fine. It probably will not blow me away, but I'm sure it will be a fun watch. So it's fine.
I'm here for more Shakira songs.
Yeah, you got to keep the furry fandom happy.
That's right.
And then the Bluey trailer. I don't know if Dusty, if your kids are young enough to have gotten Bluey fever. I've known that it was being transitioned into 3D animation, and I saw, I think, in the I Have Some Notes crowd, or maybe it was a different nerd group that I'm in. The 3D animation comes across very much as Disney threw $120 million at us, and we needed to justify that budget somewhere, so we just threw it at the animation budget, because everyone else from the show is returning. Like, all the voice cast is going to be in there, and it sounds like Bluey, but it just looks like the Lorax or a Dr. Seuss adaptation. I'm sure the feeling will be there, but the animation will take some time getting used to it.
My kids are young enough to be into Bluey, but they never had any desire. So I've never seen an episode of Bluey. I've heard good things. Maybe we'll watch the movie. I have no idea. But I have no ties to it. It makes me a little sad. It's one of those where, as a dad, I was waiting for like my kids to be interested in these things. I was like, I'm not going to watch a lot of animated stuff, because then when they get old enough, they're going to want to watch it, and I'll watch it with them for the first time. It'll be awesome. And then they got old enough, they're not interested in watching any of it. It's so like, well, I'm not going to watch Bluey by myself. So I just, it's one of those that I've missed along the way. So
I would recommend Bluey. Bluey's just an amazing show, regardless of whether or not you're watching with your kids or not. It might give you a little bit of an inferiority complex, but you have to remind yourself that it's set in a fictional world where dogs are people.
I got an inferiority complex anyway. Like, it's fine. It's just, what's one more thing to kick me, right?
Fair. All right, let's move into the steak and potatoes of all of this. With an hour into this, let's start with the X-Men cast announcement. X-Men from the MCU confirmed for May 5th, 2028. we have the cast announcement with, we already know Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. Kit Connor
What?
confirmed. You fell asleep during that part in Spider-Man. I forgot.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
Kit Connor as Scott Summers, Cyclops. Christopher Abbott as Charles Xavier. Maya Boyd as Aurora Monroe / Storm. This is Alex's favorite announcement. Indy Navarrette as Anna Marie / Rogue.
Yay!
Samara Weaving as Emma Frost. And then Adam Driver as Nathaniel Essex / Mulberry / Mr. Sinister, which I don't think I sent it to you guys in the chat, or maybe I did. Nope, I didn't. I'm not going to do it now. But I'll send you guys the link individually. But there's a video out there of Adam Driver talking to the D23 crowd at Pinewood Studio while he's in Pinewood Studios. And he's like, oh, by the way, I'm playing Magneto. And everyone's like, woo! He's like, what? Looking off screen. He's like, what? Oh, no, sorry. I'm playing someone better. I'm playing Nathaniel Mulberry. And you hear people just being like, who the fuck is Nathaniel Mulberry?
Cricket.
It's just dead silent because Nathaniel Mulberry is one of the clones of Mr. Sinister. And if they had said Mr. Sinister, I'm sure the crowd would have been like, oh, hell yeah, finally. But no, because they went with, I'm playing Nathaniel Mulberry, the crowd just was dead silent. It was kind of hilarious because they really thought that they had some nerds in the crowd, and they did not. They had a bunch of influencers who hadn't had their chance to Google anything yet. So, Dusty, I'm going to go to you. How do you feel about these casting announcements?
I love it, man. It's a good mix, I think, of established and then young. Like, I was looking up some of them, like Indy Navarrette, I know just because from Obsession, and she's insane in that. Chris Abbott, I knew. Chris Abbott, I knew because I recently watched Kraven the Hunter, and he's in Kraven the Hunter. But he's also been in, he was in It Comes at Night. He was in A Most Violent Year. He was in, Young. He was in Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene with Elizabeth Olsen. So he's been a guy who has been, like, I have seen for a while. So I'm excited about Chris Abbott. Kit Connor, like, I don't really know. Adam Driver's Mr. Sinister is going to be so much fun, dude. I'm so excited about that. So I like that it's and Samara Weaving, I'm hyped about. Like, I like, January Jones, is fine. She's not a great actress. Samara Weaving is very much a great actor. So I'm excited to see. This feels like when we talked about the Star Wars thing earlier, the Starfighter or whatever, where I don't need like the big names. This to me feels like they're going to try to build X-Men, and they're trying to build it with a mix of, like, I say established. Indy Navarrette has been in Obsession. Like, she made a living doing, if you ever are bored.
She was in Superman and Lois. Like, that was her big breakout.
Well, and so she did that and then didn't get anything. If you ever get bored and want to look at, she was a Twitch streamer for a while. She did Call of Duty, and her Twitch streams are just incredible. She just seems like an insane person. I love her dearly. So it's a good mix of, like, established and then also up and coming. So I'm clearly, and we'll see if the pace picks up, clearly they're trying to build like an X-Men core of young, somewhat unknowns they can build some movies in before they get like too expensive. I really, really like this. After looking, like, not just the ones that I know, but after looking up some about, some of the ones, like Maya Boyd was very much I don't know anything about Maya Boyd has like a single credit on my IMDb. But I'm excited about what this could be. So this was very much that seems like a good group. I'm as someone who is a longtime X-Men fan, I'm pretty hyped about the cast announcement. I think it's going to be really good.
In the words of Deadpool, we need them young, we need them morally flexible, and be able to carry this franchise for 10 to 12 years. And that's what they got.
Yep.
The only thing that pissed me off about this announcement was, stop being cowards. Fox, you're cowards. Marvel, you're cowards. And Feige, you're a coward. Give me a frickin' Jubilee. We've seen Rogue 10,000 times. We know her shtick. You put Gambit in there with his card magic powers. You can give me Firework Girl, okay? Give me Firework Girl in a yellow trench coat. Do it.
So, Alex, I have no confirmation on any of this, but
yes,
this is a very small casting announcement.
I was going to say, there's no way this is it, right?
There is absolutely no way this is your X-Men team.
Uh-huh.
They're looking for the right Jubilee. Well, we did get Jubilee. And,
we also got Storm. We got Storm.
Was it X2? What or the third?
It was, I think it was the one after Days of Future Past. Was it Apocalypse?
Yeah, we got Apocalypse, but I don't think
She made the joke that Return of the Jedi is the worst Star Wars, and the third one is always the worst.
No.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's true. But I don't even think she was in the last one, the like Dark Phoenix.
Probably not.
Wiped that movie from my memory. I couldn't tell you who's in that.
I mean, I know this. I know this isn't the full cast. I know I know there's rumor casting for Beast and stuff like that. You know, I would have just been excited if they had like Jubilee, because I love Jubilee. Jubilee's my favorite.
I saw some really good fan casting of I forget the actress's name, but she plays the daughter in Shrinking, the Apple TV Plus show. And I was like, yeah, I would be all in for her being a Jubilee. Like she has dramatic weight, she can be funny. I would be all in for that. I got to give Feige credit for getting Indy Navarrette in for this film. She's probably been locked in since like Obsession debuted, and before all the hype and money came in. By some minor miracle, she gets the Best Actress nomination, let alone a win in the upcoming Oscars. Like, Feige probably locked her in for a song, and now all of a sudden he's going to be able to be like, Best Actress, Indy Navarrette is Rogue in my movie. And she's probably not even going to be a lead, because I'm sure they're going to like overcompensate and make Cyclops a bigger part like they are in X-Men 97. I mean, easiest payday for Indy Navarrette, I'm sure, but I can't imagine that, one, this is the roster size for this film, and two, I would assume that Cyclops and Rogue probably get their due after really kind of being underutilized and underserved in the first trilogy and the second batch of films as well.
I just need my Jubilee.
And like from a costuming perspective, it's not even that hard, right? Like you said, it's trench coat. You got the big oversized glasses. You got like a short haircut. Like you're set. There's Jubilee.
And the Macho Man glasses are back in, so like the costume works.
Yep.
And give her a skateboard, man. Give her the skateboard.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you actually think that they are full on like doing a full wipe of the X-Men, or is this going to be like the X-Men, but then like Gambit is also there as Channing Tatum, and Wolverine?
I really hope not. Not if Indy Navarrette is Rogue.
Everything. Yeah, I think they got to full wipe everything. Now, I don't know if they will, because like you mentioned, Alex, cowards. I think it needs to be full. Like Gambit, Channing Tatum at Gambit was like, that was stunt casting and that was fun. That's a joke. Like he's going to be in the next, he's going to be in Doomsday. Yeah. That's kind of like joke casting and throwing the guy a bone, and he's fun and that's cool. I don't want him in my next X-Men. It's got to be a full wipe, I think.
And him being in Doomsday, which we'll talk about a little bit more, that's going to be like Thor going from Thor Ragnarok to Infinity War, like in reverse, where he's this weird goofy guy in Deadpool and Wolverine, and they're going to like change the tone of him pretty significantly to fit into Doomsday.
Just drop him in. They're like, who's this goofy guy? Like that? I can't imagine. Yeah, that'd be insane.
If only Iron Man could have met Gambit.
Who was the other Gambit? Was that Taylor Kitsch? Was he the Gambit in the
Taylor Kitsch?
Yeah.
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
X-Men Origins, yeah.
A movie so bad they canceled X-Men Origins Magneto.
It was worse. I rewatched it recently. It's worse than I remembered it being. It's so bad.
Especially the CGI blades part, where he's like finally gets the blades and he's in the bathroom. I'm like, he literally has had these knife hands since the first film. They can't just like give him new knife hands. Like, no, they're so new. They're CG.
He's hitting them against each other.
And they barely touch and they spark. Yeah.
So ridiculous.
So good.
Yeah.
So Alex, I really got to know your thoughts on Vision Quest, the trailer that they dropped with that one. I'm legitimately excited for that one. I think that trailer looks super interesting, but what are your thoughts on it?
Let's fucking go. Yeah. WandaVision, like I love it. I love that this creator has stuck to her guns through this entire thing. They said, hey, listen, do you want a second season of WandaVision? She went, no, Agatha all along. And they dragged that crap out. And Agatha all along came out like 4 years later. The budget was a peanut. I mean, at one point in that movie, that show, they literally have Death cut the backdrop and walk out of it. Yeah, there was no budget to that. And they're like, hey, Agatha did okay. What's your next thing? I'm finishing with Vision Quest. And they're like, come on, can we give you a movie? Can we, like, no, I'm finishing this shit. This is my trilogy. This is my thing. And like, well, what do you want to do? You got to make it cheap. Fine. Paul Bettany won't wear the Vision costume very much. We'll save $10 million that way, and we'll do this thing. Well, I mean, come on, like you want the robot dude. Damn it, my brain's slipping.
Spader.
Yeah, you got James Spader back. Like, is he being a robot? Hell no. Just get him out of bed. Don't shave him. Put him in a jacket.
Make sure he doesn't shave for 3 months, and then we'll just
don't
get
let him
on
shave.
set.
Like, hey, do we want a piece or anything to kind of hide? No. He's fresh out of bed. That's the thing. We're saving. We're not doing makeup artists. It's gonna be great. It's fantastic. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And yeah, we're getting this. I'm excited about it. I hope if we don't get Wanda back in Doomsday. Well, I'm assuming that they're releasing it before Doomsday to explain why Wanda's back in some manner. Of all the announced and then canceled Disney Plus shows and sequels, we somehow are getting this beautiful capstone of this one. This trilogy is complete. It only took like 7 years, and I am all for it. I love Vision. I love Elizabeth Olsen and Vision together. It's Paul Bettany. I love him. I loved him since A Knight's Tale, when he was introduced by Bare-Ass walking on the stage, walking in the screen.
He was trudging. Thank you very much.
To trudge. Now see that, Sir Auric, I believe. Every once in a while, I will something will my wife and I'll be joking around about something and being dramatic, and I will then scream, "We walk in the garden of his turbulence."
Was he Chaucer? I'm not making that up, bro. Was he Chaucer in that movie?
Yeah, he's Geoffrey Chaucer.
Yeah. Okay, I have not seen that movie in years. I was like, I think he was Geoffrey Chaucer, but
what I love about it is that that film, because Geoffrey Chaucer for a year and a half, they have no clue where he was in his life. There's just this gap, and they said it during that year and a half.
You got to be historically accurate in Knight's
Tale.
Yeah,
exactly. When you're starting off with Queen, you got to be historically accurate, man. When you have Nike making armor back in the day,
that's right.
I love that film. But yeah, I'm all for it. Give it to me. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I hate James Spader. James Spader always feels like every line he is delivering, he's gonna look at the camera and wink afterwards. There's a pompous knowingness in every performance he's ever given that I hate entirely. And so I'm open to Spader being fine here. I don't like the amount I saw him in the trailer. That's the only thing holding me back. Because the Vision Quest run of comics is awesome. I love WandaVision. One of my co-hosts on Watching Stuff, Monty, always talks about when are we going to get Vanilla Vision again? Because he flew off and they have not mentioned him since the end of WandaVision. So I like that we're closing the loop. We can see what happens. The setting looks awesome. The only thing holding me back from being excited about this is I hate James Spader. So again, it feels like every performance is he's telling a joke, and I don't like it. That's it though. Everything else looks awesome. I'm excited.
You didn't like Dad? Papa? Peepaw?
No. Listen, I almost was like, how much longer is this going on? I gotta skip forward. I can't do this. I cannot do this. So we'll see. I'm excited it's getting its ending, but that's
that
it.
Dad Papa Peepaw line. That felt like it was dragging on forever.
Yeah. I'm glad
I do like it. It's a really blink and you miss it kind of moment, but James Darcy is coming back as original Jarvis from Agent Carter.
I did see that. Yeah.
I had to confirm looking at the cast list, but yeah, he's coming back, which I think is really cool. I think this looks like a lot of fun. I still hate the Ultron design. I think giving him the Optimus Prime 2007 film moving mouth was a mistake.
Yeah.
It removes the menacing nature of Ultron and just the unfeeling mechanical nature of him being a robot. But other than that, I think that doing something new with Ultron, especially in this kind of idea where Ultron is a part of Vision, Vision is an amalgamation of Tony Stark, of Bruce Banner, of Ultron, of all these different things. And so him trying to rediscover himself and find himself again after the events of WandaVision and having to battle with that Ultron part of him, I think is a really interesting look into his ability to self-reflect. And also they're clearly drawing upon the Tom King, the Vision comic as well again. Even if it is just aesthetically with the house that he has in his internal psyche, I'm here for any reference to that comic. So I'm very much excited for this, and I I really don't care if it ties into Doomsday at all or if it's just its own self-contained thing. As long as it's an entertaining story, I am here for it.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm. I don't need. It's kind of like WandaVision. They set some of the stuff forward, but it is not everything. I don't need everything to set something else up. If it's a self-contained of that aesthetic, I'm good with that. So with you on that for sure.
And if I remember, the original plan for WandaVision was actually going to be after the events of Multiverse of Madness. So if they do bring back Wanda, like maybe that's them just kind of finding a way to finish out the quote unquote trilogy as they had originally laid out anyway. So let's get into the final discussion point for today. The 100-second, 120-second Doomsday trailer that they released. My thoughts and feelings on this is the only trailer they really needed to release. This is the only footage they need to have. This should have been the thing they released instead of the tease of Captain America's coming back. Oh, what's Thor monologuing about? This is it, man. This establishes Doom in such a way that it makes him a threat. It gives us the motivations that he needs. I'm still not fully there with the motivation of him being like, you've all lived stolen lives. Why do you get to do that where I don't? Blah, blah, blah. That part feels a little different for me because Doom is always kind of malevolently trying to do his best. But he's trying to shape the world in his image. And in this, it feels more like he's just a jealous little baby. But I love that the costume is set. It doesn't have a moving mouth. It doesn't even have like a Spider-Man kind of thing where the jaw just moves along so you can see he's talking, which means they can do the Deadpool thing and just dub over whatever they need to make it work with the dialogue that they decide to write a week before the film comes out. I'm here for everything in this trailer. I absolutely loved everything that came in this trailer. Dusty, how about you?
I have concerns about this movie with some of the direction of MCU. Like overall, I think I've got some concerns, which I don't know that I need to get into now. But the first trailer backed those concerns a lot. To your point, the whole, I don't know, man, there's like a cheapness to some of it. The whole like Captain America coming back, looking like Nick Wright, like the settings, like the set looked half finished. It's like when they released some of those like the early footage stuff. That's how some of that looked to me. This trailer, I was like, okay, I'm in now. Like that first trailer did nothing for me, and I was concerned anyway. This one, I'm in for. I still have some of the same concerns, but as far as getting excited about the movie, seeing like, Doom is Doom. The fact that we've gotten Doom in two movies now, two of the Fantastic Four movies, and he's just been such, I guess, two of the series.
Three, technically.
Yeah, because he was in the second one. He's working with them. Yep, and then he did the Miles Teller one.
Yeah.
He just has, they've not done a good job with that character, which as someone who, I don't read as much as I used to, but I'd read comics for a very long time when I was younger. Doom was like this huge, unbeatable figure. The fact that you couldn't do better than like a nerd in front of a computer who never had his mask on anyway, that's bad. Like this, at the very least, this is Doom, and the Robert Downey Jr., the casting of it, that's where my concerns are. But this sets Doom as like, this is the figure. You get the Thor, you get the immediate impact of like, the brushing the Thor's thing away with the two fingers. Like you kind of set the stakes as far as how powerful he will be. That's what I want in this one. Like that's, for this trailer, that's what I want. You get some of the characters, you get some of the actors up there, and Doom is like the big bad who maybe they actually lose this time, which feels like, the stakes of Avengers are always so wonky, but they're going to wipe the slate clean between this and Secret Wars. Like they're looking to reset. How much they're looking to reset, I don't know. But for the first time, it feels like Doom is very, very powerful, and he could legitimately kill everyone, and it wouldn't shock me a bit. And so that kind of raises the stakes. And seeing Doom presented here, that got me excited. Again, still some concerns, but I was way more excited after seeing this than I was after the first trailer.
That hell answers to me line, the delivery of that is what really got me like very hyped. I'm like, okay, yeah, this looks like it's filmed on a green screen and on a backlot. They don't look like they're in a real location at all, but it still is giving me some like good comic book vibes. And then when he just stops Thor's hammer and he just goes, hell answers to me, I was just like, oh yes. And the head goes in the hand. Yeah.
No, I dig the trailer. I watch a lot of Red Letter Media. They're fantastic. And since that trailer came out, a clip of them from like 5 years ago has circulated, and it circulates anytime that like any of the Doomsday stuff comes up, and they're like, well, you know where they're going from here, because they're talking about like after the end of Endgame, they're going to have all these new people, they're going to try to rebuild it up, they're going to start it over, and he's like, and you know what happens? He's like, if that doesn't start working, well, we'll just reboot. We'll bring Captain America back. We'll bring Tony Stark back. We'll bring everybody back because hey, that didn't work, but we'll start over. I have been very cynical about that because it is very much wiping out. It seems to be ignoring the Marvels, the Marvels, Hawkeye. Loki ended so beautifully. Season 2 of Loki, that last 5 minutes is perfection. And we have seen people stop Thor before. Hela did it. They did include that in the trailer. Hela grabbed the hammer and just shattered it in her hand. And so Doom doing it is like, oh, okay. That's not necessarily a power fit. We've seen that. But the consequences of this intrigue me. The narration by Sue Storm of being betrayed very much intrigues me. You all have like lived on stolen lives or something like that. The story intrigues me and where they're going with it and why Doom is mad. The only thing that I have heavy reservations about is going to continue to be it until the end. What's the one after this? Doomsday? Is it Secret Wars?
It's Secret Wars.
Didn't they already? No, they're just Secret Invasion. Secret Wars.
Don't lump it in the same, man. Like, they can't do this again.
Yeah.
Secret Invasion's going the way of Song of the South. Like Disney will wipe that under the rug and just disregard it.
They're gonna bring back Maria Hill and act like nothing ever happened.
What? Yeah. If we never get the reveal that he's Tony Stark in some manner, okay, that's weird. Why are you paying Robert Downey Jr. back for this? You're paying him for an accent. A lot of people can do an accent in that body costume.
I was thinking Ross Marquand, the guy who they brought in to do the Red Skull impression, like he could do that voice no problem, and you don't have to reveal his face.
And then how much that actually means to the story that he is a version of Tony Stark. Those questions to me hang bigger than anything, but this trailer does give me hope that they know what to do with Doom and they will do it right. So I have finally freaking hope in this movie, which I haven't had for like 3 years. I almost had enough hope to buy my ticket for it, but then I remembered. I already told everybody in the Talking Smack discourse, you do not pre-order, you do not give companies money. The seats are not going to run out. I'm really, really intrigued about what they're going to do with the storyline. Why Shang-Chi is fighting Gambit. What is that destroyed CGI world that really needs like 3 or 4 more passes on it to make it look good? What is happening here? Why is the Fantastic Four betrayed? So yeah, let's see what happens. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm more curious as to whether or not they will answer some of the post-credit stuff as well, because we had Monica Rambeau stuck in the X-Men universe. Are the X-Men and the Fantastic Four in the same universe, and they just didn't mention it in the Fantastic Four because it wasn't really necessary to the story? Because my guess is the field that they're on is either the X-Men New York or where the Fantastic Four was, because I don't know why Reed would be so upset if that area was destroyed and it wasn't his New York. There's a lot of questions that obviously we will be having until we see the movie. Similar to you, Alex, I feel a lot more hype, a lot more hope for this film simply based on this trailer alone. The first trailer was fine. It didn't really do much for me other than I'm happy to see Chris Evans back, but it really does feel like stunt casting. The other trailers that we got beforehand with the ahead of Avatar, those all just really felt kind of desperate, really. There wasn't any narrative purpose to them other than being like, please be excited that Chris Evans is coming back. Please be excited that Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart are coming back. Because the MCU has fumbled the narrative of this post-Endgame lineup, the scramble that is happening because of the lack of a narrative cohesion for this batch of films really just kind of hurts the hype that I would normally be having for this. But this trailer on its own really just kind of got me excited because Doom feels like a threat. Doom feels tangibly powerful. And I think my biggest hope for this film is that it does follow the Infinity War formula of it's kind of half an Avengers film, half of a main antagonist film. So in this case, Doom, whereas Infinity War was Thanos. That's my biggest hope, is that they spend a lot of time, or we spend a lot of time with Doom and seeing what he's doing in the machinations in his scheming and what he's accomplishing in his mission. Whereas if it's just them constantly sitting in a room, going to find Doom, going back to a room, regrouping, going to find Doom, it's going to be pretty disappointing.
Yeah, that's a good, because it is, we'd seen, my concerns are around like the speed running of it all, because we'd not had Doom built up as the villain for a long time, the same way we'd seen Thanos like lurking in the background and all that. But that is I say that, but then it really was Thanos in an end credits, sitting in a chair and going, I'll do it myself. Like, he's there, he's lurking, but you're also spending time with these characters. You're speed running some of that, but you can make up for that. Like you said, if you do see, I don't want Doom to be all powerful to the point where he shows up and is just beating people up and then he flies away and like, we got to regroup and do something. To your point, that is what I kind of want to see, is this, why is he doing what he's doing? I do want to see that. I don't know. Have they said anything about Secret Wars as far as the timing of that? Is that because Infinity War and Endgame, that was like a 2-year thing, right? It was one right after the other. Is Secret Wars, are we getting a
Secret
big
Wars
gap
is
between?
December 27.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be fine with, why is Doom doing what he's doing? Give me some background on Doom, because we have not seen him. There's been no talk about him in the MCU whatsoever. He's coming in cold, which is where the Robert Downey Jr. stunt casting comes in to some extent. If you want to raise stakes immediately, put a guy who was well loved and everyone wants to die, and now you have to fight him, and now all of a sudden all of your heroes have like oh no, can we really fight against Tony Stark? Like, that's, to me, that's like it's a shorthand trick to try to get you to buy into that. But if it is set up more as, why is Doom doing what he's doing? Why is he destroying this? Why does he feel this way? It's a lot to cover in that. But if we got Secret Wars in a year, that's cool. But I don't know. I rambled for a bit. My concerns are the speed running at all, because like Shang-Chi, like we saw him, that's cool. We haven't seen that dude in 4 years. Like the storyline's been so, I don't know, it's not been there. We've not had a concurrent storyline with that stuff. So you've got to smash it in. Like, you've got to hit something here with Doomsday, because we haven't had that through line that we had all the way up through the first 2 Avengers movies and then 3rd and 4 as well. So I'm curious to see how they do it. I'm excited to get Doom. Like you said, I've got trepidations about this, but I do have hope after this trailer, which I did not have after the first one. So that's something.
Yeah, I remember seeing Multiverse of Madness and they had mentioned incursions, and that was like the word for me. Like when they said the Infinity Stones, like I was like, okay, incursions, that's the thing. They're going to follow the Jonathan Hickman stuff, and they're going to build towards the incursions and Secret Wars. Like, that makes perfect sense. And I think that was the only time they ever mentioned the word incursions. And then you see one at the end of the Marvels when Monica Rambeau goes through one to close it, but they don't call it an incursion. But like, someone like me who has read those comics, I'm like, okay, I know what that is. That's all you need. Because again, it can be your Infinity Stones. All you have to do is say the word, and the audience is like, oh, it's all connected. And they haven't done that at all in this batch of films and shows, because narratively they've been playing catch up since the pandemic. And probably
since the Major
because,
stuff, right? Like since the Jonathan Majors fallout, when it was like they had to pivot off of Kang, and then it was just like, then you had, that was pre-pandemic, right? Or right around pandemic. I think Quantumania came out. It was
2022 or 2023. Okay. We actually had Aaron on for that episode as well. Okay. But yeah, it's even if you drop Kang, like the incursion stuff can still be a thing, because you can retcon that to being like, oh, it's Doom jumping multiverses to try and find something. And all you have to do is, as he leaves, the incursions stay open, and all of a sudden these worlds collide or universes collide and disappear. That's all you have to do. But they've been so busy just trying to get to Doomsday and get to this reset that it really feels like they just dropped the ball in terms of what made the MCU work in the first place.
Yeah.
that is all to say this trailer was really good and got me hyped. It sounds like all of us, like we enjoyed part of it, at least a little bit. But I think it's time for us to start wrapping up and get to bed. Dusty, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today. Please, once again, let everyone know where they can find you on podcasts and other projects that you're a part of.
No, this was awesome. You sent me stuff I would not have watched otherwise. The Starfighter stuff, I don't think I would have watched if you guys hadn't sent that to me. So it was fun. This was awesome. Thank you so much for having me on. I am social media just at Dusty Evely, and as far as relevant to this podcast, watching stuff, which I think we've got a couple episodes left before football season. Then after that, it's all just football after that for me. So that's where you can find me.
And if you want to do a MCU rewatch, watching stuff is probably the best thing you could do, or at least one of the more fun things you could do. I was actually thinking about doing a 38-week rewatch leading up to Doomsday, but I was like, I don't have the time for that. Maybe next year.
Smash that in. Yeah, stop.
Maybe next year. Alex, please let everyone know about the Discord.
It is tsmackpod@gmail.com. That's the invite. You can click the link below. Just feel free to join. It's where we post all the news, thoughts, opinions, all the fun stuff. It's where Matt lives and breathes because his boss doesn't know what he's doing during the day. It's a good time. And don't forget, we also have a website that we're slowly poking around on. Adding thoughts and articles. It's you know what? It's where we're going to post our Baby Grogu Breaking Bad script. That's where it's going to be.
Heisen Grogu, let's go.
We'll release it like Andy Weir released The Martian, just in pieces. You can follow us on social media at Talking Smack Pod, Letterboxd, Blue Sky, Facebook, YouTube. Thank you, Leo Allen, for our musical themes, Bethel for our original avatars, Retro Studios for our Ricky avatar. Email us at tsmackpod@gmail.com. Please like, subscribe, rate, review your podcatcher of choice. What is that TV show out there that people should be watching, Alex?
Star Trek.
Wrong. Watching stuff.
Oh, damn.